So this week's workout,
as promised, for Mr. Greg Ridgway, I think his name is. Yeah.
So Greg works in a food van, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah. So Greg contacted us. He's got a little nice French food kind of food van, sort of street food.
Yep.
And his main problem is he's there all day. He has no way of getting to a gym, exercising, and he asked us for some advice.
Yep. So we thought we'll put him together a workout that will use minimal equipment that he could keep in his van.
Yep. Anything in a little bag of some kind, like a sporran.
Now granted, we don't know the exact dimensions of his van, so we're going to work within a small space. Hopefully most of the exercises will work. We've got a good pump on, and he can do this once or twice a day if he fancies it.
Good. Okay, so like we said, we're going to use minimal equipment. We're going to run through each of these exercises, and then we'll show you in a nice routine.
We're going to put together one set of the whole routine, which you can then repeat 2, 3 times, even 4 times really, right?
Yeah, and the number of reps will depend on how heavy your kettlebells are and how strong your bands are.
How heavy are your kettlebells? Right, you get 2 different types of bands first of all, which are ultimately the same. You get some with handles, which are quite sort of thick tubular rubber. And then where's in your magic spawn?
Oh, when will it end? Who knows?
Magic Stephen here.
Hey!
And then this is the other common type of band. Both you can use for these workouts, exactly the same. It's a bit of elastic.
This is a typical physio type band that they'll use for a lot of different exercises, but they're very handy, and like you said, they go into such a small space that they're very, very easy to use.
So the first movement we worked off, we were getting the delts fired up. Okay. Put one foot onto your band, side on, squeezing the core. Now we did a full rep to start with, so all the way down, all the way up. Good, yeah, good rotation there, that's good. And then the next part of that movement you can do as well is a pulse rep, which is keeping it at the top.
And just gets the delts burning.
Keeps the time under tension up there.
Whoa, that gets nice and burning.
Yep.
So obviously I use kind of one foot on the band now, depending on how strong your band is. If you want to make it harder, you can actually just step halfway down the band, and obviously that's much more difficult. If you've got a very, very flexible band, you could actually do both at the same time, but my band's so strong that my band's stronger than I am.
Whereas the band I have here, it's quite easy enough to put under one leg
and do movements.
Pulse with two. It's just all in the type of band that you have. Work to your equipment, basically.
So basically just going to get the shoulders nice and fired up. Everyone likes nice strong shoulders. So next,
so we get a bit of the legs going with a bit of the biceps. Okay.
So nice squat for this one. We're going to put both feet into the band. I'm going to turn side on just to show you. Now what we're looking for is we're going to sink into the hips just a little bit. So we're just pushing your bum out behind you, like so, and then as you straighten, we're then going to get the biceps working nice and strong. And we just keep that rep going.
Again, this uses very minimal space. Or just a foot around you really, isn't it?
There we are.
We're going to activate the anterior part of deltoid next. So similar to what the first move we showed you, this time we're going to bring the arm out to the front. This is actually good for the core as well, squeezing in the abs.
And that burns the shoulders.
Burns. Then while we've got the band in our hands, we're going to work off the tricep movement.
The band in your hand.
Single arm.
So again, because I've done this a few times, I know roughly where I want to have the tension. Depending on how close you take it will dictate how heavy or how strong the band is going to be. So I know that I need roughly halfway. Then all I do is put it behind my back, like so, and then you can get nice movement from there.
Good range there. So another piece of equipment you could use, which takes up very little room, is a kettlebell. Now there's lots of moves we've done in the past with kettlebell. Today we're just going to use it for 2 movements. We're going to go to the triceps first, just because similar movement to what we're showing you with the band. Take it in 2 hands, okay? Safer to hold the heaviest part, okay? Bring it down to the back of the shoulders, then all the way up, locking out straight at the top, okay? Down and up, down and up. Now if you've got a decent heavy weight, you'll bring the reps down, but if it's lighter, just rep it out till it burns.
Yep, just keep working. I nearly fell over there.
Yeah, I nearly got stabbed by sticks here. And then the other movement we do with the kettlebell, which Stephen's just thrown away, we do a lunge position. Again, we're going to get the legs fired up. So if you've got enough room to step forward, Again, we're gearing this around somebody working in an enclosed space.
If you don't have enough room to step forward, you're in a pretty small space.
We feel bad for you.
We feel really, really bad for you.
So we're going to bring the front knee forward roughly in line with the toes, going to keep the shoulders up, and he's going to drop from the back leg, and he's going to pulse, keeping all that tension, keeping his weight coming between both legs.
Really important to keep the shoulders back and the core tight, because what your body will do naturally when you start to tire is dropping forward. You want to avoid doing that. Keep your body upright, nice and proud.
Proud as. And that's it there. That's a very, very basic set of routine. Okay, we're going to put it together for you now for one set. And again,
and this is up to you. I mean, that covers all angles. It covers the legs, the core, the arms, shoulders. So it's a routine that you can just do again and again and again until you're tired. And that's the main thought behind the exercises. Make yourself tired. Just fatigue yourself and challenge your own comfort zone. So here's the routine.
Let's get stuck in.